Coming up on this edition of the newsfeed.
Find out why some Virginia Tech students are told they're no longer welcome at their apartment complex.
An open burn ban issued for Montgomery County. See how it affects residents.
And hear the heartwarming story of how police officers saved a little boy's birthday.
All this and more next on this edition of the newsfeed. Hello, and thank you for joining us for this edition of the newsfeed. I'm Linda Kill.
And I'm Samantha Daly. Virginia Tech students receive a crime alert about package larceny. We go to George in the studio with more.
Freshmen have reported multiple packages being stolen throughout the month of September. Now, the Virginia Tech Police Department is investigating the matter. Around the Virginia Tech campus, package larceny has been a problem. Packages being left outside of students' dorm rooms have been getting taken.
In mid-September, the Virginia Tech Police Department received a report of a larceny of a package that had been delivered by one of the common carriers. I can't remember if it was FedEx or UPS, but one of those. And then later in the month of September, near the end, we received several more reports. So it appeared to us as though we had a string of these.
The police department has found ways for packages to be delivered more securely, such as scheduling a specific time for delivery. The Virginia Tech Police Department is advising all on-campus residents to make sure that their doors are locked when they're away from their rooms. And if you're expecting a delivery, ask the delivery service to require a signature before they leave your package. Freshmen are taking notice of the issue and are hoping for some delivery changes.
I think they should all just go to the mailroom. I think that's a much better way of doing it because it is pretty easy to steal stuff, just because they're just kind of sitting right in the door.
The mailroom could be a future solution, but right now the police department is asking for your help.
We're but a small number of people in this large community, so we actually rely on community involvement in all aspects of safety and security.
If you have information regarding the larceny, reach out to the Virginia Tech Police Department by visiting the station, their website, or by giving them a call. We will continue to provide updates on this story when new information is gathered. Back to you at the desk.
There's a new way to reach 911 in the New River Valley. All you have to do is send a quick text. The NRV Police Department recently implemented a new SMS emergency service. All you have to do is pull out your phone and text 911 with your emergency. The department says voice calls are best if you need to reach them in an emergency, but the new texting system will help those who may be hearing impaired, have a speech difficulty, or find themselves in a loud environment.
Technology is always advancing. This line of work, this industry is full of technology, and everything we can get our hands on to serve the public better, we'll do it. So we implemented it because it was there and it was available.
D'Antino says if you do text the department, be sure to provide your exact location, what kind of help you need, and keep messages brief and concise.
The town of Christiansburg takes your safety seriously, especially if you're meeting up with a stranger. Newsfeed reporter Corey Van Dyke has more.
The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office received an upgrade to the Safe Exchange Zone that is located on the premises. This Safe Exchange Zone offers a neutral location where residents of Christiansburg can meet for child custody exchanges or internet deals. All swaps are recorded and monitored using 24-hour surveillance from the adjacent jail. Lieutenant Mark Hollinsworth and the Sheriff's Office knew the Safe Exchange Zone would be much needed with the rise in purchases through Facebook, eBay, and Craigslist.
When folks purchase stuff, you don't know who you're talking to on the other end. It could be legit, or it could be somebody with bad intentions.
Students in New River Community College's ACE program repainted the designated area and put up new metal signage over the summer.
Ever since the Safe Exchange lot was installed in 2017, Lieutenant Hollinsworth has noted that the residents of Christiansburg have loved this idea.
There's hardly a time that you can go out there between the hours of 4 and 8 when there's not a car or two pulling in and out.
It begs the question of whether a similar zone could be added to Blacksburg. The free and for sale marketplace on Facebook is home to over 25,000 members in the Virginia Tech community, including Victor Zimbardi. He says the safe exchange zone could be the missing piece.
You have the whole infrastructure and then the sort of the website designed to make, allow the people to meet, but now we need it physically. We need it in our landscape to sort of, it's like the last piece.
Whether Blacksburg follows suit or not, it's already producing favorable results in Christiansburg. Reporting from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, this is Corey Van Dyke.
As one chief of police gets promoted, another steps up to fill his shoes. Kevin Faust announced his promotion after previously serving as the chief of police and director of security at Virginia Tech. Faust's new role as Associate Vice President of Safety and Security is a brand new position for the university. The role was designed to work with the police department, the Office of Emergency Management, Environmental Health and Safety, and Virginia Tech Rescue Squad. Just a couple of days in, Faust has been researching the departments to familiarize himself with the job ahead.
I've been doing a lot of reading, trying to figure out what these other departments do on a daily basis. I'm awfully familiar with the police department and somewhat with Offices of Emergency Management since they're in the same building. Emergency or Environmental Health and Safety up the road. I've been reading a lot of their stuff, so I'm just trying to get myself up to speed as to what these other agencies do.
Faust's former colleague, William MacBab, has now taken Faust's previous position as Chief of Police and was sworn in last week. Babb plans to work closely with Faust and promises to make sure the police department is operating efficiently despite the change in management.
I think we're just very excited to be moving forward. I think we all recognize, there is change. There's always a level of uncertainty when there's change occurring. But the most important thing that we've talked about is our level of service and the level of excellence that we give to the community cannot change.
Most students are finally getting settled into their homes for the year, while others are getting kicked out. Davis Carbaugh joins us in the newsroom with more.
That's right, Linda. Some residents of Terrace View Apartments haven't been able to enjoy their homes. Terrace View has evicted hundreds of residents this school year in order to renovate their properties. Amidst the over-enrollment issues at Virginia Tech this year, this has left many former residents frustrated and out of luck.
Many residents were given notice last fall that they would be forced to leave their apartments and find other housing options. This comes in the midst of Virginia Tech accepting its largest ever freshman class, nearly 1,000 more students than the previous record. Beginning in the summer, the construction team has completely demolished nearly a third of the entire Terrace View properties. About 10 buildings were torn down, forcing all the former residents to find a new place to stay. One of those residents was Connor Sandway, a Virginia Tech junior who was planning to renew his lease but was forced to leave.
So after we found out that we couldn't renew in the same spot, we started looking at different locations, which was kind of difficult because we already had Terrace View on lock and we thought we were going to live there again. So we had to look at a bunch of different locations. It took a lot of time. It kind of stressed me out a little bit, especially during test week because it was during that time.
Sandway now resides in Smith's Landings Apartments, which he says is a less convenient location than his former apartment in Terrace View. The construction on Toms Creek Road and Patrick Henry Drive is projected to house nearly triple the amount held in the buildings torn down. In addition, new street entrances and exits will allow for a better traffic pattern outside the complex. With that being said, the construction has still brought about difficulties for current residents.
It makes it really noisy all the time, and it's hard for me to get to the bus now because I can't cut through that. So yeah, I think I am going to move out next year.
While the renovations will improve the overall state of the apartments and allow for more housing to accommodate large freshman classes, current and former residents have had a difficult time dealing with these changes.
A rough start to the school year for these students. We'll keep you updated on this story as we learn more. Back to you guys in the studio.
Montgomery County has issued a county-wide burn ban. Newsfeed reporter Nicholas Rios has more.
For the past month, Montgomery County has been dealing with severe dry conditions, with temperatures reaching the high 90s and even low hundreds. With very little rainfall, it has caused county emergency officials to issue an open-air burn ban. The ban includes, but is not limited to, campfires, brush fires, and burn barrels. With the current dry conditions, there is potential for a wildfire to begin and spread rapidly across land, risking severe damage to forests and the animals that inhabit them. Virginia Tech meteorology and climate science professor Andrew Ellis explains the possible risk Montgomery County currently faces.
The grasses are so dry right now that it would not take much, and embers from fires can travel, especially in a dry, windy atmosphere, pretty far.
According to U.S. National Park Services, 85% of wildfires are caused by humans. Residents are urged to use extreme caution when working outdoors with heavy machinery, because even a lighter like this could spark, causing a potential wildfire.
The burn ban has more to do with preventing the forest itself from catching on fire, which in this area we're used to seeing cycles where leaves will fall in the fall and then they will decompose through the course of the spring and the summer.
Ellis predicts these dry conditions will continue for at least the next month. County officials have not given a definite date on when the ban will be lifted, but have emphasized once the region sees steady rainfall, the removal of the ban will be considered. We will give updates concerning the ban as more information is provided. This is Nicholas Rios reporting for the newsfeed.
Just ahead on the newsfeed, a walk to end Alzheimer's disease in Blacksburg. Participants hope to see the first survivor.
And you saw it doing push-ups earlier this season in Lane Stadium. Up next, find out what this robot is really all about.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Samantha Daly.
And I'm Linda Kill. A fight to end Alzheimer's right here in Blacksburg. The 2019 Walk to End Alzheimer's was held this past Saturday on Virginia Tech's campus. Over 300 people came to participate and share their support for those fighting this debilitating disease. The walk's goal is to raise awareness and funds with the dream of one day finding a cure. Another big part is highlighting the stories of those who have been affected. Cody Armitage, a senior at Virginia Tech, recently lost her dad to a rare form of Alzheimer's. She shares why the Walk to End Alzheimer's is important to her.
Like last year, especially just the Blacksburg community, even though it's not a big city here in Blacksburg and Roanoke and the NRV, just knowing that people are out there and it's not just kind of you, because sometimes when you do have a direct family member affected by it, you think like you're the only one going through it.
The Walk to End Alzheimer's community is a support system for men and women who have been personally affected by the disease. And although this event only happens once a year, the fight never stops.
Virginia Tech looking to improve mental health services for students. Newsfeed reporter Henry Scott has more.
Cook Counseling Center is one of the busiest buildings at Virginia Tech. The on-campus resource for improving mental health has been looking for new ways to expand and improve their offerings to students, faculty, and staff, for as the school's enrollment increases, their desire to have counseling available to them does as well. The initiatives implemented this year stem from decisions made by a mental health task force last year.
Mental health task force was started by the provost, Dr. Clark, and the Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Perillo, last year because of the rising demand for mental health services in colleges and universities across the country.
This building behind me, Cook Counseling Center, is not the only option for students with mental health questions or need for other resources. There's satellite offices spread throughout Virginia Tech's campus, off-campus providers. Their information is given to students as needed. But something new that's come out of the mental health initiative this year is embedding counselors within academic units.
We want to have counselors to be able to do that training and awareness training that we talked about with advisors, with faculty. And if there's a concern with a student, that they could stop by someone's office, get advice, have a consult.
Another aspect of the initiative is administrating mental health services in a creative way.
And so they're really trying to find different solutions than just medicating people, because that's not always helpful, like we already talked about, and just trying to find everyday solutions for a big thing.
The Mental Health Initiative team feels confident about their progress so far and is looking forward to what the future holds on campus. Reporting for the newsfeed, I'm Henry Scott.
The robot that gained internet fame during a football game does more than just push-ups. This video is courtesy of Ghost Robotics and WSLS-10. Vision 60, the robot that has been seen at the football game against Duke, has bigger plans than just doing push-ups. The focus of the research is to develop gaits similar to animals. This would allow these robots to have real-world applications.
We're hoping that this, the framework that we're testing out, this hybrid dynamic system framework, could be something that would be useful to other labs as developing their own gaits. So there's sort of an academic side to it too. If this methodology could be used and be really helpful to them, then people can come up with all sorts of applications with the robots that they develop too.
By applying new algorithms, their hope is that they will become more agile. This will allow them to be used in different environments and have rescue capabilities. Demonstrations of these robots are available to the public next month. Virginia Tech did not build these robots, but writes and develops the code that is applied to the software installed.
The Christiansburg community comes together after a Facebook tweet. Still ahead, how a little boy's birthday was saved.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
A mother in Christiansburg wanted to have a fun birthday party for her 3-year-old son. When no one showed up, she went to Facebook, but she didn't expect what followed.
Rayan Slusher. His mother Caitlin wanted to put together a birthday party for him, so she deposited $150 at the Christiansburg Aquatic Center to have it there. However, when party time came, the center was quite empty.
It kind of hurt my feelings, I think, more than it would have hurt Rayan's, but I wanted people to be there.
Sad that hardly anyone showed up, she went on Facebook and posted in local group pages that her son was going to have no one to play with for his 3rd birthday. The community responded.
Then people started commenting, well, we're on the way, we're loading up the kids, we're getting in the car, we'll be there as soon as we can. I started getting messages, hey, what is he like? You know, what can we get him?
Hearing about this little boy, Virginia State Police Senior Trooper Rodney Kinley showed up.
And as a parent, I knew what it felt like when you didn't have nobody show up, or a few people just show up after a lot of people had promised to come. So it sort of gave me an opportunity to not let this happen for another family. I didn't know who they was, but it really didn't matter.
Alongside Officer Rhodes from the Christiansburg PD, the duo brought some gifts as people from all over flooded the party.
And it just seemed like a lot of people dropped what they were doing to come out and make sure that Rayan had a good birthday.
Rayan did get to play with new kids and splash around. He was also gifted an electric toy car with his name on the front. But Caitlin wants the community to know one thing.
He's been saying, I had the best birthday party ever.
And Rayan?
I don't know. They're going with their police car, I think.
They came in their police car.
Reporting for the newsfeed, I'm Michael Alaknowitz.
That is such a sweet story to wrap up this edition of the newsfeed. If you have any story ideas for the newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. And as always, you can connect with the newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'm Samantha Daly.
And I'm Linda Kill.